Hello, Mike. Testing mic 1 2. It's testing mic 1 2. Testing. Testing mic 1 2. Testing.
Let's welcome the two teams in Zesco United and Canon 125 FC.
What do you do? You can start? Yeah, maybe it is your first.
All right, a very good afternoon. Welcome to this live broadcast from Levi Mwanawasa. It's a CAF Confederations second leg match involving Zesco United, the host team from Zambia, hosting Football Canon 105 of Libreville. The match has just started and Zesco are on the attack right now. We'll be taking you through the lineups very shortly as we have just played just about 30 seconds into the game. So Zesco United, the host, I've got Philip Sakauta and go right back. Lindom Conte, the skip of the side. Zacharias Longo putting it across here as Zesco trying to push the issue early here, but the referee not really interested in what would have been a free kick or penalty for Zesco early on, as the Gabonese were just about clear, patiently trying to play out of defense as the referee will stop play. As there happens to be somebody on the floor, on the ground right now. All right, so quickly. Zesco United, Felix Sakauta in goal, Solomon Sakala, Kawaso Chongo, Zacharias Longo, Lindom Conte, those are the back four. In midfield, we've got Leonard Mlenga, February 19th. Peter Msukuma, as well as the youngster who has been enshrining his name in football in the last couple of seasons, Simukonda, then Alex Ingonga up front alongside Amin and Freddy Siankobo. That basically gives us the first 11 for Zesco United this afternoon. The visitors on the other side have got Benjamin Munya Inkufu in goal, Sylvain Branel Mulumbu, Derek Obame, Larry Ekwa, the captain. We also have Caleb Zamba, Tizi Tra, Freddy Obiang, Thogan Esian, Lak Masho Esono, Yan Maduma, and Chafu Hosu Abdu Zesco are on the prowl once again trying to push the issue here. We know that they're carrying a 2-0 deficit and they need to get on the score early on, as a shot on the near post here as the visitors just manages to keep it outside. I'm your match commentator for this afternoon, Lucky Sinkal, alongside Nicholas Shingwe. Statement of Vitain Nicholas. Zesco United almost scoring in the second minute of this what promises to be a very exciting match.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lucky. Good opportunity there for Zesco United. Early on, they have shown their intent and it's good positive play. I think so far in the minutes which have passed, the last 3 minutes, Zesco have come in the half of the Gabonese side. So it's very important that they get that early goal to give them that momentum. Remember, you mentioned they are carrying a 2-0 deficit, which is very important for them to get an early goal as we kickstart this second leg.
So Siankobo will be taking this ensuing corner kick from the eastern side of this magnificent facility called Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. Let's see what Zesco can come up with or conjure up as he swings it in. No problems for the Gabonese, and they'll survive this onslaught from the home team. And you can see the goalkeeper there, Benjamin Yinkufu, just telling his teammates to take it easy this afternoon. So not really maybe the kind of crowd that we were expecting, considering that this game has been opened, the gates have been opened for the fans to come and give massive support to Zesco United, who are chasing a 2-0 deficit.
Yeah, obviously expected a lot. They invested for them to actually print free ticket. It means there was expectations of numbers here to make sure that they cheer on very important the 12th player. But I think the number so far looks okay. And you know, Levi Mwanawasa is a very funny stadium. At start, it doesn't start well like this. But as you progress, I think you might see numbers increasing, and I expect that to.
And there's a break. There's Yankobo on the break here, trying to find Alex Ngongo on the other side, but he couldn't pick the right pass. Zesco have got a chance here. Simukonda. 4 minutes on the clock. Zesco United have half the deficit. 1-0, 2-1 on aggregate, and the fans are loving this. Is it game on for Zesco United right now?
Yeah, game on. I think David Simkonda there. You looked at how much he was pressing, and it paid off. The defender there made the mistake, couldn't shrug him off, and boy oh boy, he just killed that past the goalkeeper. Beautiful, beautiful goal from the young midfielder. You talked about him when we were just starting to say he's been making headlines in the past 2 seasons or so, and he continues to do that. Good goal for Zesco. What a start for Zesco United.
they couldn't have really asked for a better start than this, the home side. This definitely will put now the Gabonese on the ropes, considering that they still have about pretty much like 85 minutes or so to defend. If you'll be able to defend, they now once the slender 1-0 aggregate that they have as an advantage over Zesco United, as they'll go along, they'll pump the ball forward, looking for options up front. If the game plan was to sit back, it would be interesting to see, Nicholas, how now the Gabonese are going to combat the onslaught from Zesco United, because maybe they could have come here with a game plan just to say, let's just wind down the clock, sit back, and see basically how things can definitely work out this afternoon. But they have conceded in the very first 4 minutes of this game. Does that put a dent in their game plan?
Definitely, and that works well, an advantage psychologically to Zesco United, because like I mentioned, the first goal was very important, and it's good that it came from Zesco United for the sake of the home fans, and that's just what Zesco has done. I think it was very important that they start positive, get the first goal, and early on in the first goal. For this time around, the deficit is just 1-0 now, and I think any goal for Zesco would mean the tie is at 0-0, and Zesco is still pressing high through Yamin.
Hiva looking for Alex Ngonga on the run, and now you can see every pass that Zesco gets as Chongo is marauding forward. Kamaso Chongo! Safari punch! Kamaso Chongo, the international, has wiped out the aggregate scoreline. Zesco United pretty much storming out of the box. As you can see, the first president, Keith Mwemba, being the #1 fan this afternoon. What a scoreline, what a game, Nicholas. Goodness.
Wow, what a scoreline, what a goal, and positive start from Zesco United. But boy, oh boy, look at Kamaso Chongo from the center circle. He dispossesses the striker for the opponent's team. He runs the ball through from the halfway line, and he shoots just outside the 18-yard box, and the goalkeeper was merely watching. What a goal, and it excites, like you've mentioned, the current first president, Keith Mwemba, then cheering on, celebrating all the way like he's just the one who scored. Fantastic play.
You should have, if you are not watching this game on the Zesco United Facebook page, you should have seen President Keith Mwemba and his Vice President jumping up and down in the VIP section here. The excitement is real. Definitely, I've just also seen Kenneth Babo Malitoli also cheering the Zambian side. The Gabonese have got no idea what has hit them. 7 minutes on the clock, 2-0. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Game on.
Game on, definitely. It's now back to, I think the game has started, and it's important for Zesco because they now have the last 80 minutes or so, 83 minutes or so to make sure that they close down this game. And what a positive start. And I think somehow this demoralizes this Gabonese side. What a poor way to start, because it's now 0-0, and all the work which they did in Gabon, it's all gone in the waters. It's now 0-0, back to the same scoreline.
Definitely, that was a safari punch from Kamaso Chongo. That was a thunderbolt shooting from outside the 18-yard box. He actually ventured forward from deep, managed to find his way closer to the final third, and unleashed a thunderbolt, which the Gabonese goalkeeper Benjamin Nkufu had no answers to. And now Zesco United can't believe, as the fans are now in full swing here, they're in full voice at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. Just tuning into this live broadcast on the Zesco United Facebook page. My name is Lucky Sinkala, in a commentary alongside Nicholas Ashingwe. Mukonta will take it back to Felix Sakaupta in the Zesco United go. Trying to build patiently. Perhaps now Zesco can enjoy their game. Looking at the kind of pressure that they were in, carrying a 2-0 deficit. Zakaria Chilongo show on the far side. The goal scorer Kamaso Chongo take it to Solomon Sakala. Mukonta, who was actually calling on yesterday on the fans to support the team, as Simukonda will put in a cross here. That should be no problem for Nkufu goal. The belief is there now for Zesco United.
Definitely the belief is there, and look at the numbers. I was talking about the numbers. When you look at from the left side of where we are standing from, I think numbers have started building up in the fans outside, and I think they've had a cheer, and it seems like even the nearby people who are just maybe walking along after just that celebration, quick succession celebration, maybe they have also changed their mind to where they are going and started walking to the pitch, because they know it's a free for all. So in case you can still manage to come and show up at this stadium, if you are 10 minutes away from the stadium, you haven't missed a lot. There's still about 80 minutes to play also in this game.
So far, looks like the 4-3-3 formation that Zesco have deployed this afternoon is working magic for the home side. Seemingly the Gabonese are laboring to contend with David Simkonda, who's been very fluid in that midfield, combining well with Peter Msukuma. They're joining and supplementing the efforts of Alex Ngonga up front, as Zesco have won themselves another corner to be taken from the eastern side. And this looks like Siankobo from where we're standing. Another goal. You can only imagine if Zesco do manage to find the third goal, what that would do to the fans that have really come out to come and support the team this afternoon from the Levi Mwana Wasa Stadium. The referee having a chat with the Zesco United's keeper there, and his opponent from Canon 105. So far, Canon 105, if you know what the Canon is, the Canon looks seemingly blunt in the first 10 minutes. Let's see if they have a response as Yakobo takes a corner for Zesco United. Header from Mlenga Kawaso, bring it back. But the Gabonese will do that, no problems.
Well, Zesco, they are taking advantage, I think, of a cheering crowd, and I think they are playing. The 12th player is playing a pivotal role, and I think the more they cheer on, the more Zesco is showing more hunger and more, obviously, more desire to get into the score sheet. And it seems like they're not tired yet, they're not done yet. They still want to get this done as early as possible, which is very, very important on a psychological aspect.
Mukonta puts it across. Unfortunately, Zesco not having the kind of numbers they would have wanted in that instant. Chilongoshi finds Yankobo, showing some skill there. Back to Chilongoshi, trying to squeeze in a pass, looking for that run from Siankobo. Zesco maintaining possession as they take it all the way back. This is Kawaso Chongo. Leonard Mulenga, wearing 19, all known from Green Buffaloes, as he finds Siankobo. But a good defensive cover coming through from Mulumbu, who's covering the right side of that defense. So far, the right back from the Gabonese side having a Tory time with those runs that are coming through from Siankobo, as Chilongoshi tries to meander away through that cluster of defenders. Another turnover possession from the Gabonese, who seemingly have been rattled, Nicholas. They have been rattled by those quick fire goals that Zesco United have scored, as Siankobo is picked out with that deep searching pass. Twists and turns. Can he find a way beyond the defense? No. But Zesco, Chilongoshi puts in a cross. I mean, Hiva there, perhaps the positioning is what has killed him. It could have been goal number 3 for Zesco United. That was pretty much a decent cross coming through from Chilongoshi.
Yeah, definitely pretty much a decent cross, and I think there would have positioned himself better, but I think he didn't anticipate it, especially when you look at first time when Abraham Yankobo had the ball. I think he was expecting it early, so I think his position was anticipating Abraham Yankobo. But good opportunity there for Zesco. Still looking positive. The first 10 minutes, we haven't seen any work from Philippe Scoute. I'm sure they are now searching for that goal so that they can be on the advantage now, because at this time things are level now.
Definitely level as he's the status quo here this afternoon at Levi Mwana Wasa Stadium, as Solomon Sakala gets into the thick of action. Kawaso Chongo perhaps feeling confident high right now after scoring that thunderbolt, finds Siankobo. So far having a large share of possession for Zesco United. Chilongoshi, Chongo looking for a way beyond Canon 105 as Lindom Contes ventured forward here. That was a very good pass, but unfortunately perhaps asking too much out of the Zesco skipper, as the Gabonese will try to counter. Unfortunately, they just can't find the right pass at the moment. Nicolas, if you're the coach for 105, how do you combat? Because the team is clear. The team clearly has been rattled. As Zesco again are inside looking for. I mean, they have won themselves another corner. What do you do? I think if you're the coach for 105, what do you do?
I think the longer it takes for them without Zesco getting a third goal, the more easy it becomes for these Gabonese side, because they are not yet out, but at this time things are level, and they would hope to say the quick fire start from Zesco.
All right,
can hold
that's a corner from Siankobo. That ricochet could have landed anywhere. The defenders trying to clear the lines. Unfortunately, they couldn't connect, but it ended up that ball ended up slamming into that Zesco United striker. He didn't really know anything about that corner, but we have seen strange things happen in football, Nicholas. That could have been goal number 3.
Yeah, definitely things happens, and like that was a very big opportunity, but it went wide, and the Gabonese side, you can safely say they have survived. I think it's been unforgettable a first 15 minutes or so for this Gabonese side. I think they don't know what has hit them, and Zesco has just come blazing, wave after wave, wave after wave, almost creating chance after chance and getting 2 goals, leveling things up before the game even starts.
Definitely, there's a long throw, looking from Sukuma. Hiva rather. There's a 105 going long this time around. But every time they try to do that, putting the ball up, they're coming out second best as that backline mastered by the veteran and the well experienced legs of Kawasa Chongo has been winning those duels up front there. Let's see what the 105 counter 105 can do from this ensuing attack here. That's a very good. That was very good pass. That was a very good run coming from the other side. Unfortunately, they just can't find the right pass when it matters most. As now Zesco can break on the other side, Bazo, but that will echo out for another corner for Zesco United. Relentless pressure from Zesco United this afternoon.
Yeah, relentless pressure. When you look at Bazo, Alex Ngonga, I think his strength is pressing. And you look at how David Simkonda is getting further up the pitch. Peter Muskuma is yet to get to the party into this game. He's not yet involved, but we know him in terms of those making those runs and getting into inside the box. So it's still the game is still on the way for Zesco. When you look at players who are yet to come into party, but the pressing of as well as Bazo Ngonga is helping, and David Simkonda as well, I think is helping. So far, I think it has caused troubles inside the Gabonese side.
Definitely a lot of problems in the first 16 minutes. As Yankoba was swinging in another corner. Can he find the right color here? Yes, he can. But unfortunately, Hiva just managing to hit that ball way over the bar. And that would definitely be a sigh of relief from the visiting Canon 105. Who definitely have no clue what has hit them this afternoon. They scored quite some very sumptuous goals in Gabon, this Gabonese side. But so far, they haven't offered any resistance to Zesco United. Every time Zesco try to venture forward, they're hitting the final third. As this time around, let's see if they can hold on to possession. They have been losing possession pretty much in every duel ever since the match started. Years up, 105. Unfortunately, that's exactly what we're talking about. As Lindom Konta was trying to pick out Alex Ngonga.
You may wonder, I think fans are wondering, is this the same team that beat Zesco in Gabon? Because so far they haven't really turned up, and Zesco have been all over the places. We haven't seen much of Philippe Sagauta in the first 17 minutes, and obviously the fans maybe are wondering to say maybe it's the other team which has come, but definitely Zesco have just turned up, and what a way to start. Kawaso Chongo, experience getting that important goal, as well as David Simkonda, the young. Obviously, it's a combination of experience and the new generation.
Everything Zesco is doing at the moment seems to be magic at the moment, as that great play from Hiva finding Siankoba, who puts it across and almost finding Hiva, and that was a very good run. He dropped deep into midfield and was able to go and link up again with Siankoba up front, as the Gabonese win possession here and turn it over the very moment they just win possession back. We won't be surprised if the technical team will be compelled to make changes early on in this game if the status quo or the narrative continues, as Alex Ngonga tries to go past Tra, who's actually the captain.
Maybe the coach will be looking to bring in someone who can maybe hold on to the ball, because it's been their downfall so far, especially when they are trying to launch an attack. They can't really get past Kawaso Chongo and Solomon Sakala there in the middle, and Lindom Konta has been having a lot of freedom going into the wing, going up there, as well as Zakaria Chirongosho on the left side.
Yes, Mkonta. Can he bring in across? Yes, he can. Well defended. And the referee would definitely blow for a foul for Canon 105. And a first booking of the match goes to Solomon Sakala, perhaps maybe for dissent. Not really happy with the decision by the referee to blow for a foul. But definitely there was contact there.
Yeah, definitely there was contact, and it was marking from behind. And when you look at the aggression he added when making that challenge, I think that would have given the referee the option to make that decision. And, well, in a very not so dangerous position, it was a silly foul to concede, if you ask me.
Silly foul, but definitely a foul that is actually considered in a very position that where you want to lose possession, way in the deep in your opponent's own half, as Simkonda trying to play, trying to show some fancy footwork there, trying to pick out Siankowo, who was on the run actually on the far side, as Zesco win themselves a set piece right around the center circle there. Kabasa Chongo definitely want to come and pick it, get us underway. Solomon Sakala, Kabasa Chongo, Chilongoshi. So for two teams actually, Zesco United formed in 1974 and the Gabonese formed in 1975. Last time Zesco are going to Gabon, I'll get back to that thought first. Let's see Yankobo on the far side. He puts in a cross. That would be no problem for Yinkufin Go. Go picks out and not wasting time. Look at that. A shot from Bazo.
Wow. What an opportunity there for Bazo. And that was a good attempt. Unfortunately, didn't land in the goal. But what a mistake by Benjamin there, the goalkeeper for Canon 105. It would have been Zesco 3 by now.
What was Yinkufin thinking there? Almost gifting Zesco the third goal. They have really unrattled this Gabonese side. Something has to be done definitely by the technical team, because this team looks to be very rattled at the moment. Even when they are not supposed to be conceding possession, Nicholas, they're conceding possession. That was a needless actually mistake made by the Gabonese goalkeeper. So coming back to a little bit of history, this team formed in 1975. They have actually been a very dominant team in Gabon, especially from 1976 going up to 1989, winning the league 11 times. And that's something actually I just heard that the Congolese actually back in the day used to do a lot of songs concerning this very same Gabonese side. So if you consider that the last time Zesco were going to Gabon, Lindom Conte was saying we know nothing about them. But definitely now we know that definitely they have a pedigree in Gabon. They're one of the best, if not one of the top two best teams in Gabon. They definitely are one of the best, as Zesco United will win themselves a free kick. That foul, of course, committed on the youngster, David Simkonda. The referee just chastising the Gabonese to ensure that he does not repeat. If he becomes a repeat offender, definitely he might be cautioned in that instant.
Yeah, definitely foul in a very not so dangerous attack, but I think the Gabonese side are now seeing the pressure of David Simkonda. I think so far he's been running the show. I think in the midfield, I think how he's been pressing high, running inside the other half of the side, those splitting pass in terms of switch play. I think he's been pivotal to the first 23 minutes or so, getting a goal as well in that moment. So it's definitely been his show so far, and that's why they are bringing him down.
Definitely, this is Gabon with Tra on the near side. Goes long, looking for the run on the other side from Mulumbu. Can they master something out of this attack? Not definitely on the case, as Zakaria Chilongoshi just make sure that ball goes out into touch. That would be a throw that we have seen actually the Gabonese win for themselves in a very long time in that position, attacking Zesco on the east, on the northern side. Quickly taken, that's Mulumbu on the far side, brings in a cross. Well dealt with by Leonard Mulenga, but there's a shot from Tra. Unfortunately, lacking perhaps the target. He had actually put some power behind that shot, but definitely not something that could have bothered Philip Sakauta in that Zesco United goal. This afternoon, Philip had a very torrid time in Gabon. So far, 23 minutes in the game, he has been unanimously missing in action. Tells a story of how the game is panning out this afternoon, Nicholas.
Yeah, definitely tells out a story, but positive play there from Ta, an attempt away from far from on the goal, despite it not hitting a target. But I think it's something which we haven't seen in a long time. It might be positive play for them, but
as Bazo just about manages to keep that one in play, and that was a very good effort from the veteran, well experienced legs of Alex Bazongonga, as Zesco will win themselves another set piece here. If this was boxing, definitely the Gabonese are living on the ropes right now. They are living on the ropes right now. As Yankobo, who appears to be the specialist insofar as set pieces are concerned, will be the one to come and take this one. An in-swinger, as Zesco have got a player down. Is that the youngsters, Simkonda, perhaps feeling the effects of that hack he just he experienced a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, probably maybe that would have been a big knock. Maybe it's having some discomfort in terms of how he's feeling. So maybe he needs a bit of a more check-up. I think the early one wasn't good enough. So hopefully, for the sake of the Zesco fans, he'll be able to continue because I think he's been the main man in this game. If you ask me, I think he's been the star player so far this game, getting one goal. He's been pivotal to how Zesco has been playing in terms of transitioning, moving the ball up front, and then also in terms of pressing to make sure that this Gabonese side make those mistakes at the back. And so far, those 2 goals you've seen how they've come into the pitch, it's been through those mistakes and high pressing from the Gabonese side. And David Simkonda once more. It looks okay, though we were yet to get a full report in terms of how he's feeling and what could be the problem. But so far, in terms of how he's working, it looks positive in terms of him going back onto the pitch so far. And it's a corner kick for.
Yes, a corner for Zesco as the young man is just aided out of the pitch here. Sian Kobo will swing it in. Let's see if they can add to the tally right now. The Gabonese community back in Gabon are actually watching this game. They're actually in shock with what is happening here. 2 sucker punches in the first 5 minutes, 2-0 down, and it's 2-2. Sian Kobo swings it in. Can Zesco score from here? Almost, just about, almost. But definitely, I mean here, it looks like he had no idea what was going on there. That ball just ricocheting off the legs of Leonard Mlenga, who was actually giving Zesco those numbers up front as they decide to go along. Another needless turnover of possession. Nicholas, you're playing against a team which is on a high right now, leading 2 goals to 0. You are hardly holding on to position, and the goalkeeper does what he has just done here. Does that aid your cause?
No, definitely doesn't help out the team, especially when you look at the up front. I think they have been outnumbered in terms of especially power. I think you look at the back four there, so much experience. I think all of them, when you look at Lindom Konta, is the national team captain from Lesotini, as well as Solomon Sakala, experienced international player, Kawaso Chongo, currently the national team player. Zakaria Shirongosha as well is an international. So there's so much experience in this team. So they need to find a way to break that defense, not in such those long balls. It will be very difficult.
Yes, there's Zesco trying to find a way beyond that back line as the Gabonese who try to master attack going forward. Patiently this time around, goes long, finds Nzamba on the near side here as the overlapping left fullback Tra has got an opportunity to shoot, but unfortunately, perhaps that intervention from Solomon Sakala saved Zesco United from what seemingly looked like they were going to concede in that instant, but job well done by the former international Solomon Sakala.
Yeah, too early to call him former though.
He is a former.
But it was a good block from him. I think it's good to even see him playing regularly for Zesco United. I think at some point he was off grid, so it's very important, but what a block that was.
It looks like we might be seeing an injury-induced substitution. David Simukonda seems to be in a whole lot of bother here. Discomfort. Zesco United most likely will be compelled to make a change as we see young Chanda Mukuka, who has actually now gained a lot of experience playing for Zesco United ever since he joined them. Looks like he'll be the one to replace David Simukonda. Looking at how influential the youngster has been so far in the first 28 minutes, do you think that substitution will be much of a bother for Zesco United, or do you think Chanda Mukuka might just about perhaps be able to supplement whatever David Simukonda was doing this afternoon?
Well, Chanda Mkuka has what it takes to really step up in such a moment, but it's definitely a huge blow. Trust me, from Zesco's point of view, losing Simkonda at this early stage, because maybe they would have loved to bring in Chanda Mkuka, but not at this point of the game. Maybe when all is done and work has been done, but and also especially not to an injury of losing David Simkonda. So it definitely looks like a blow for Zesco United. But I expect Chanda Mkuka to step up. I think the experience. Is your boy. We've been around with him during his time at GOM, so you understand, and you think his growth has been there, though he has seen less game time since the boy has burst into the scene, but he has the experience.
All right, definitely. He definitely has what it takes here. It looks like now it will be a double substitution. Surprisingly, that Zesco United are actually being compelled to make a double substitution. One of those being an injury-induced for David Simukonda, but we are seeing here another substitution. They're going to do a double substitution here. Could this be maybe that the coaches feel that the Gabonese do not really have anything much to offer? So perhaps maybe instead of having maybe 4 defenders, maybe Zesco United have opted to actually supplement the attack with putting on an attack-minded player.
Well, let's see what is in store. Let's see what the substitution will bring. But when you look at they are bringing in a striker. That's Vitalis Ganta, the new signee. So it will be interesting to see who he replaces, and obviously what tactical approach Zesco is trying to change dimension into. But early on sub, the David Simkonda one is a like-for-like replacement. But let's see who Vitalis will replace.
All right, so if definitely Ganta does get on, we know him to be a striker. He's just thinking. Zesco started with a 4-3-3 as they're attacking here. There is Musukuma goes wide, finds Chilongoshi. Back to Musukuma. Can Zesco find the third goal here? Unfortunately, well dealt with by the Gabonese. Turning and twisting there, trying to look for options here. And dispossessed here. Leonard Mulenga, who shoots. And the Gabonese almost scoring there. I know, almost an own goal. Whatever's happening here, the goats must definitely be running crazy. And for the Gabonese side, as Zesco attacking again. I mean, but this time around coming on second base. Nicholas, what is going on at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium this afternoon?
Well, I think, like I mentioned, I think in the midfield, Gabonese side haven't really turned up. When you look at how they are pressing this Zesco side, and Leonard Mulenga, how was he free in that situation, walking through all the way onto the pitch? Yeah, so just a confirmation there of the substitution in terms of how, like I mentioned, it would be interesting to see how change. And like I mentioned, Peter Muskuma wasn't having the best game of his lifetime, and he's been substituted 30 minutes onto the game, and he's replaced by Ganta Vitalis. So it's also a like-for-like replacement there, as well as Tandam Kuka replacing David Simkonda there.
Of course, yeah, leading to goals to nil. They know that they can afford to make those changes. Pretty much, if this works out, the coaches will look like geniuses in this instance, as that ball is just across the line, and Zesco win themselves a goal kick. No time wasting antics from the Gabonese this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely they know to say they have no time to waste anything. So it's big opportunity for them, and I know they obviously they are aware to say if we start taking a lot of time, we might not have an opportunity, because as it stands, the game is still level, so anything can happen. So if they can hold on to this and maybe get that all important goal, they still get an advantage in terms of goal aggregate. So all in all, the game is still level, and as it stands, unless Zesco scores, that's when we will be critical for this side.
Definitely. We have heard of the hair dry treatment from the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson. Perhaps that's basically what awaits this current 105 when they go to the halftime break. Because definitely, if there was a game plan, that game plan has definitely gone out of the window. And the coach, you can see, he has been very animated as they are mastering forward current 105. Can they find something tangible out of this attack, as Chilongoshi would deal with that, no problems, and providing cover for Zesco, just ensuring that attack, which actually was looking very promising, just ends about to be a corner for, actually should be the second one for the Gabonese this afternoon.
Yeah, but interesting, if you've noticed, I think Vitalis is coming deep to partner Leonard Mulenga, and Chandamkuka remains the only attacking midfielder. So maybe change of tactical approach there from the Zesco technical bench, maybe trying to protect in terms of how they play, and also maybe helping out in attack.
Yeah, that's an in-swinger. That was a very powerful corner, but surprisingly, nobody was challenging Philip Sakauta in that Zesco goal. And now the fans wanted him to really unleash the ball quickly as he turns over possession, surprisingly, taking a leaf out of Inkufu in the current 105 as Zesco venturing forward. There is the substitute Chanda Mkuka finding Amin Hiva, almost losing possession. Alex Ngonga to Chanda Mkuka. What can the former Acid Boy do here? Unfortunately, couldn't find the right cross, as the Gabonese would definitely try to build that. But Leonard Mulenga wins possession, buzzer on the turn, but unfortunately runs into some very, very welcome traffic from the Gabonese. That could have been goal number 3 right there.
They keep losing the ball in the midfield, like I mentioned, and they keep giving opportunities to Zesco, and it's a matter of time, if you ask me, before they concede the third goal, because so far the midfield hasn't really turned up, especially the central part of the midfield. I think it hasn't been effective so far, and they keep on losing the ball, and the defenders are really in 6s and 7s when you look at, they're exposed too much, including the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper has done well so far. He's kept them in the game with those 2 good saves, but it's a matter of time before they concede the 3rd goal. And boy, oh boy, then it will be the end for them.
That will be the end, so says Nicholas. Let's see if he's got if he's right on the money, as Alex Singonga has now changed wings on the other side. Siankobo coming to operate from the right. We'll be expecting him to be cutting inside, and pretty much the same thing with Alex Singonga, knowing that he's right-footed and operating from the left. Mkonta once again. Leonard Mulenga deep in midfield. Kabasa Chongo goes long, but definitely Chandam will always come out second. Looking at the height in that Gabonese back line, as the Gabonese will try to venture forward on the far side. Takes it back to Mulumbu. Mulumbu forced to take it all the way back to this is the longest we have seen, actually, the Gabonese holding on to possession through this first half here, but they've been compelled to take it all the way back to Nkunfu in that goal. Seemingly not really under pressure. Perhaps they are looking forward to going to the halftime break, if they can limit this or perhaps narrow the deficit. Look at that patient build-up. This is very good play from the Gabonese here, but Sakauta definitely reading the lines and clearing the lines for Zesco. Very good goalkeeping from the Zesco goalminder there, as Chilongoshi ventures forward, marauding forward. Alex Ngonga back to Chilongoshi. He brings in a cross here. Can he find the right man in the right color? Unfortunately, Siankobo lacking on the height there, as the Gabonese who attack through Tra on the near side here. He has been a bright spark so far, trying to go along on the far side. Kabasa Chongo having no problems there.
Yeah, I think one notable thing I've come up is Philip Sakauta. I think when you look at when he came in, it's when Tosta left, I think it was a question of Zesco, big club, not having a goalkeeper who's an international goalkeeper, and everyone wondered who would step up, and Philip Sakauta has stepped up so far, and I think his performance for Zesco has at least accounted himself very well. And I think when you look at how he's commanding, despite the Gabonese side not really having much work to do, but I think his command is doing very well, and overall it's good that everyone, when called upon, is standing up for Zesco, and it will be very crucial, because in as much as the game is still on, anything can happen into this game, and they would want each and everyone to be at the 110% concentration level, including the goalkeeper Philip Sakauta, because anything can happen in a game of football. One chance can change anything, and one goal, remember, changes the advantage, swings the advantage back to the Gabonese side.
Definitely, that definitely is a narrative that any Zesco fan wouldn't want to see happen here. As Yankovo swings it in, definitely that was a touch there. Unfortunately, Leonard Mulenga couldn't direct that one inside. That is I think the closest Zesco have come to score ever since they scored the first 2 goals here. Leonard Mulenga will be cursing the skies there. These lucky stars. Unfortunately, that should have been goal number 3. Unfortunately for Zesco, that's a chance that their hope will not come to rule as the game keeps on clocking towards halftime. Long drive forward. That's a push, and definitely Zesco wins themselves a free kick there, right in the center line with Alex Singonga infringed. They'll leave it for Ganta. Or is it? Looks like Kabasa Chongo. Ever smart on the pitch, Kabasa Chongo.
Definitely, I think is not making those challenges kind of a challenge. For a defender to come out that clean, it means the opponents are really not having a good time in terms of attack so far.
Definitely not enjoying. They are not definitely enjoying their visit to Zambia. Remember, Forest Rangers a couple of seasons back did actually play Gabonese side in FC Bwengudi, and that Gabonese side did manage to knock out Zesco Forest Rangers. It looks like this time around, this team is not going to be having the kind of visit they had when that other Gabonese side came to Zambia.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at here, I think it was a new draw. If I remember very well, then they traveled to Gabon and they lost by 2-0 Forest Rangers. So this time around, Zesco prevented that because they knew to say a new draw would result in them being knocked out. But hey, they've turned up here, and big opportunity for them. The game has come to level terms. They now just need 1 goal now to make sure that they go through into the second round, and they have to prevent this Gabonese side from getting a goal away from home.
Definitely. So on aggregate, 2-2 is the scoreline, and as things would be, it's every. I think the chances are now it's 50-50. Pretty much every team here can take this, depending on who will be able to execute their game plan for the second half so far. Because looks like the Gabonese looking at how they have managed to fizzle out the attack from Zesco. Oh no, there's a mistake. Bazo! Bazo! Safari punch! 3-2! Whatever's happening at Levy Mwanawasa Stadium this afternoon, if Christmas happens in September, then definitely today is a Merry Christmas for Zesco United, because that was an absolute howler from the Gabonese, gifting Alex Bazangonga, and definitely the experience coming to the play, Nicholas. Whatever's happening here.
Yeah, definitely whatever is happening there, it's go for Zesco United, and it's 3-0 here. Zesco are running riot here at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. They have taken advantage of the home advantage, but the Gabonese side on the other hand, mistakes keeps on coming, and they have paid the price for every mistake they have made. The goalkeeper tried to keep them in the game, but unfortunately, I said it. It's a matter of time before this Zesco United get that third goal, and it has happened in the first half. All 3 goals getting them into the first half. Zesco are safe and sound as it stands. If it ends as it stands, they go through with a 3-2 victory on both leg goal aggregate.
Well. The Gabonese are arguing amongst themselves here. They've got no clue as to how these 3 goals actually have gone past. My goodness me, if you're going to make mistakes like that at this kind of level against an opposition like Zesco United, who have actually made a name for themselves. Remember, back in 2016, they managed to reach the semi-finals, only to be knocked out by Mamelodi Sundowns, having won the first leg here at Mwanawasa, but unfortunately they lost 2-0. They have got that kind of pedigree. They also hold Lazarus Campbell. Remember, he has got so much history for Zesco United, having scored the quickest hat-trick in the history of the Champions League. But this, of course, we're talking about the CAF Confederations Cup. But they have that kind of pedigree, and the Gabonese are playing like a school team.
And I think that's what's been missing in the Zesco. I think for all the headlines they've made off the pitch, this is a good statement they've made here. I think a lot of headlines, some players making headlines, and then also a lot of things have happened. But this time around, they just stand up and they made sure that all the noise which has been going around in terms of everyone making the headlines, and this is the best way to make that noise go away, and people will concentrate for them how they perform on the pitch. Good way for Zesco to silence the talk.
I'm certain that Power Dynamos are watching this game in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, at 18 hours, or is it 16 hours Central African time. They will be actually also playing the second leg as Zesco trying to mash another attack here. Amin here finds Alex Ngonga, the goal scorer here. What can the experienced legs of Alex Ngonga do here? Dancing around, finds Lindom Konta, and the fans are applauding every move now that Zesco makes as play goes back all the way back to Solomon Sakala. Confidence is rocketing right now for Zesco United. Lindom Konta, Eswatini international. Solomon Sakala from the under-20s of the 2017 fame there, making a name for himself alongside the likes of Patson Daka, Enoch Mwepu, who unfortunately had to give up his footballing boots due to a certain heart problem. But how Solomon Sakala ended up cementing his position at Zesco United is something of a marvel, as Alex Ngonga has gone down seemingly right after he scored that goal. He felt some pain, and now we have just seen international Kelvin Mubanga raising for the warm-up, and the fans, you can hear the applause here. The fans are loving seeing Muba warming up. Most likely he might be replacing Bazo. That would be the second injury-induced substitution for Zesco United, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, but look at the experience Zesco has. You look at Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba on the bench, and I think him replacing Bazongonga, who just scored the third goal, which has put the nail in the coffin for the Gabonese side. It's now a huge task for them to come back, because they need to score 2 goals for them to go through at the end of the day. So it's very important for them, and an injury won't be a good thing for Zesco, but either way, they have the players who can step up. And you look at the substitution for David Smkonda, I think they haven't even missed. The way Chandamguk has stepped up and has coordinated well with Bazo as well as Amin, and just as that.
So 3 minutes of added on time is what basically the Gabonese have to either pull one back if they can. Somehow that ball has just managed to go through all the legs that were trying to actually put a stop or a halt to it. But Zesco will breathe a sigh of relief as they win themselves a goal kick here. And now you can see Philip Sakaute is taking his precious sweet time. They'll be going to the dressing rooms if they go, leading 3 goals to nil, feeling like they are flying Zesco United. Feeling pretty much confident that they can come and actually put some more beyond the reach of the Gabonese. Cannon 105. The cannon is currently blunt. The cannon is firing blanks this afternoon.
Definitely blank so far, and they have been outnumbered, outmuscled, outsmarted tactically, and whatever you can think of, but it hasn't been their day, and Zesco has stand up. I told you, we talked about numbers walking into the stadium. Trust me, if you look on my left side, you'll be able to testify to say the Levi Mwanawasa has got that jinx of just filling up as the game progresses, and that's what has happened. You look at the west side, I think it's almost full on the north side, so it's pretty much helping out in terms of the numbers. So for them to put up the game at free, it has worked out and is helping out. Look at how much the fans have cheered Zesco from the first time we started, and it's good that even Zesco has repaid back the faith from the fans to also get stabilize the game in the first half, because going to the halftime as 3 goals to nil, leading 3 goals to 2 on a deficit on goal aggregate, it definitely is a good positive play for them.
That's a long, very, very high ball. He puts actually too much height on that instead of putting it maybe perhaps space, as one of the Gabonese, actually 2 players are actually on the floor there. There could have been a clash of heads involving Solomon Sakala of Zesco and what looks like Nzamba from the Gabonese side, as play is halted here. So perhaps if you're home, if you know somebody that would love to follow the game, just let them know that this game is being streamed live on the Zesco United Facebook page, and you can see what the mayhem actually that is taking place here at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium as Zesco are running riot, clobbering FC Cannon 105, 3 goals to nil in the first half, as we are drawing to the end of the first 45 minutes. If I thought there was a game plan from Zesco United, that game plan has been executed to perfection, and they have really made sure that all the mistakes that have been committed by the Gabonese have been ruthlessly punished this afternoon.
Definitely. And that's one thing which I've liked about Zesco, and I think they have taken their chances very well. They have had about 6 chances, and to get 3 goals, clear chances, to get 3 goals out of those 6 chances, it's a good start if you ask me, and especially in such a game where they have created numerous number of chances. I think from the first whistle, they created that chance. David Simkonda on the near post. The second chance was in the back of the net. Third chance was in the back of the net. They kept on creating and creating until they got that third important goal to stabilize this game and swing it to their advantage, which they have done so far in this game.
Definitely something that they have done this afternoon, Zesco United, as the Gabonese efficiently try to do it from the back. That's kind of those kind of antics you definitely don't work on a day when you're playing a team which is so highly motivated this afternoon. Look at Bazo, decides to take it all the way back as the referee signals for the end of the very first 45 minutes. What an exhilarating first 45 minutes from the home side. Team Zesco Zega Mambo putting 3 goals past Cannon FC 105 of Gabon. 4 minutes on the clock, it was 2-0. Just before we went to half time. Just before we went to half time, Alex Ngonga scored the third goal, and now the lead is Zesco United. As things stand, if this game was to end, it will be Zesco United progressing to the next round. Give us a brief summation of how the first 45 minutes has gone so far.
Well, Zesco have turned up very well, and I think they have been the better team, the best team so far. And I think in terms of numbers, you could see the scoreline is definitely a true reflection of what has happened in this game. Definitely of what has happened into this game. So overall, it is a game which has come where Zesco have come to the party, and they have scored 3 goals going to the halftime. We look forward to the second half.
Hello? 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 Give me some good news. 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 Give me some good. Give me some good news. Give me some good news. Give me some good news.
All right, welcome to the second half live coverage of this Confederations Cup second leg match involving Zesco United, the host team from Zambia, against Canon 105, the Libreville from Gabon. Halftime scores were Zesco United leading 3-0. On aggregate, it's 3-2. Zesco United managing to turn the tables just within the first 45 minutes. A lot of mistakes made by the Gabonese, failing to actually comprehend what hit them hard. As Zesco, we are punishing them ruthlessly for every mistake they made. Zesco are ruthless. Alex Ngonga scoring the third, Kawaso Chongo scoring the second, and of course, okay, so far we have just seen one change from Zesco United, another injury-induced substitution by Zesco United. Remember, they lost in the first half. They lost out to influential youngster David Simkonda, who actually sustained an injury midway into the first half. And now the goal scorer for the third goal has been substituted, Alex Ngonga, and replaced with another experienced player in the form of Kelvin Mwanga Kampamba, wearing 7. A national team player here. What can he bring to Zesco and offer? As Zesco now probably will just be chasing for the cushion goal, Nicholas, this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely they are pushing for maybe a cushion, so that they can have at least a 2-goal difference in terms of advantage. And the second half, you look at the experience they've brought in, Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba, an Zambian international on his own, and how much experience he brings after having playing his trade in the north of Africa. You remember very well just recently. So I think he's bringing in experience, especially in these games. That's why he was brought up, and they'll probably be expecting to step up and maybe add that advantage. Already they are leading by 3-2 in terms of goal aggregate, 3-0 on match day, which they are as fans buzzing on match day.
Okay, so Chilongoshi on the near side here. Zesco already on the attack. Just a couple of minutes played in the second half. Chilongoshi teeing up. Hiva, unfortunately, so far looks like Zesco puts at home. Already on the having actually a shot at or crack at goal. It seems to be not really having a lot of luck in front of goal. That's Hiva. The Zesco United forward up front there, as the Gabonese will try to build forward. Perhaps looking at the fact that the coach has not made any changes, that's a statement of intent that the coach is pretty much comfortable, I think, with the first 11 players that he has deployed for Canon 105.
Yeah, definitely. There hasn't really turned up today. I think he's had a few half chances in this game, and a striker of his caliber and the expectations which Zesco has after that layoff, long injury, I think he's returned back to the starting lineup, and he would have expected at least to bury one of those chances, but unfortunately today, but maybe his chance will come.
Definitely his chance, hopefully his chance does come, because as things stand, it's pretty precarious at the moment. One goal can change a lot of things, so hopefully if Zesco can find a cushion goal, that would definitely something that will be crucial in knocking out any wind which is left in the legs of the Gabonese Canon 105 squad that has been hit with 3 goals in the first 45 minutes. They have no clue what has hit them. They have been hit hard here by Zesco United. Rampant, as they win themselves a free kick way deep in the Zesco United half. And looks like it will be Mulumbu to take this ensuing free kick here. Can they master or conjure up something? Let's wait and see what happens here. Swings it in. Dealt with by Solomon Sakala, who just heads the ball straight onto the legs of Hiva. Hiva once again losing possession, out muscled, but he does manage to actually win possession back, as now Zesco venturing forward on the far side. Chilongoshi in a very unfamiliar right side as he's going past there, but he fouls, and the referee feels there was an infringement as he wins his team Zesco United a free kick and a yellow card to go with that infringement for the Gabonese on the far side.
Yeah, definitely. What a good run there from Zakaria Chilongoshi, finding himself in a very unfamiliar territory, but making a good run there and a positive charge there, and creates a foul, which looks like advantage to Zesco in a very good position. You can tee it up. There's Kemuka there who can hit those good assists there, and we have Lindom Konta as well as Amin and Chandam Cook have joined in. Leonard Mulenga as well. He's a good header of the ball. So very good opportunity. And obviously a swinger, Abraham Siankombo, can just even hit from this. We've seen him score from such a position.
Yes, looking at how he has been taking those corners, it wouldn't be surprising really if he does manage to score from that position. He has got a very, I think, a deft left foot. Let's see if it will be him or Kelvin Mwanga. We also know that Kelvin is equally good, but looking at the fact that if Kelvin takes it, then it will be an out swinger. If Siankobo takes it, then definitely an in swinger, something that will give the goalkeeper a lot of problems, because that way he'll be dealing with the on-running attackers. That should be something that maybe the option that Zesco should opt for, as we see Kelvin Mwanga walking away here. A free kick to Zesco. 50 minutes played on the clock. 3-0 in the lead. As things stand, they're marching on to the next round of the Comfort Cup. Swings it in. A free header, and unfortunately, Chanda Mkuka, where it looked much easier to score, unfortunately the youngster couldn't actually find or hit the target. Another wasted chance from the Zesco United attacker there.
Yeah, big opportunity. What we mentioned about Abraham Siankombo's delivery. Once again, it was a good one, and just Chanda Mkuka just needed to put it down, and it would have been a...
Mubanga crosses in, finds Siankombo on the far side, header. Unfortunately, out-muscled as the referees are judged that ball to have gone out, and the Gabonese goalkeeper Nkufu not taking or wasting time. He knows time is not on their side. They need to find a way to the goal or score one goal. That's the only way they can put Zesco United in pressure, because at the moment, Zesco United are seemingly enjoying themselves in this game, enjoying themselves so far. Looking at how the game is panning out, they seem to be very comfortable so far, as we are hoping that whatever is happening at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium here in Ndola is also trickling into Abidjan, Ivory Coast, where the Zambian champions Power Dynamos will be locked in a task of their own against the champions of Ivory Coast. That's ASEC Mimosa. Remember, Power Dynamos are carrying a 1-goal slender lead going into that second leg, and that game is coming up at 18 hours Central African time. Hopefully they're also watching and getting inspired with what Zesco has managed to do, because they were actually in Gabon and they got beat 2-0, but today, this afternoon, they have managed to turn that around, and they're comfortably sitting on 3 goals. Yeah, pumps it long, Chandamka flips it forward, but the Gabonese will have no problems dealing with that, as Zinkofu pumps long. Unfortunately, only finding the orange colors of Zesco United, as Chilongo should pick up. Chandamkuka, unfortunately, whatever he was trying to do, that only managed to find the wrong side of the wrong color rather. Mubanga, definitely that's a push. And now be a free kick to the Gabonese. A turnover of possession they will definitely appreciate, looking at how basically have been struggling all afternoon to maintain or hold on to possession. That high press from Zesco and the uncharacteristic mistakes that the Gabonese have been making all afternoon actually makes it very hard for us to believe that this is the same team which actually beat Zesco United 2-0 in Gabon just a week ago.
Yeah, like I mentioned in the first half, I think this team, maybe the fans were even wondering to say, is this a team that beat us, that beat our team in Gabon, because it was an away match, and just fans were here wondering what happened that side. Definitely, because I think today they haven't really been a team which you expect to really beat Zesco. I think they've been making mistakes all over the pitch, and you saw even in the second half, from the way they left from the first half, I think that's where they started.
Chilongoshi venturing forward, brings in a cross, can't go past the man on the near post here. Mubanga finds Hiva, Chanda Mkuka. Siankobo dispossessed, perhaps caught out. Ball watching here, as somebody in Lusaka would say, Asanga Waletea. The Gabonese trying to venture forward with Nzamba, looking for Esono, unfortunately entangling himself with that ball, as Zesco will again say thank you, as they'll try to build from the back patiently. Sakauta getting into in the thick of action this afternoon. Chanda Mkuka plays it back, all the way back to Ganta. Solomon Sakala, Kawasu Chongo, Leonard Mlenga, on loan from Green Buffaloes. Ever since he joined Zesco United, he has been very influential for Team Yaziko, as they'll find Siankobo on the other side, but that definitely goes out for a throw for Zesco. And you can see the captain there, Lindum Conte, taking sweet precious time, knowing that they're comfortable, but they definitely need to push the issue here. Score perhaps a 4th goal which definitely will give the fans even something more to cheer about this afternoon as it takes it all the way back to Solomon Sakala.
It's good when fans stands up and a team shows such a rhythm which Zesco have shown today, and I think the idea of putting the game for free has paid off for Zesco United. I think it's a good performance so far. They've had, and they still look positive. And when you look at this game, in as much as one goal will change the game, definitely Zesco look like they can manage to hold on to this lead or maybe even extend when you look at how this side is performing. So definitely we will be eager to see how the last 35 minutes turn out.
As Chanda Mukuka wins possession in a very, very nice position here in the final third. Back to Chanda. Chanda will take it back to Mokonta. Looking for options. Forced to take it all the way back to Solomon Sakala. A comprehensive statement being made by the runner-up from last season's campaign. Looks like offside. Yes, Chilongo definitely caught out in an offside position here. So, what is alarmingly shocking, despite this team really not offering so much to go forward for Zesco, to offer any problems for Zesco United, the technical team here seems to be very comfortable. No changes being made. We're only seeing one player actually who's warming up from Canon 105. Could that be that they've got limited numbers on the technical bench that can influence the game here as they go along with the goalkeeper here? Zesco deals with that, no problems, as Chandamuka will counter. Can they muster something out of this? They have the numbers venturing forward. Ganta picks the right pass, finds Muba inside the 18. Can Muba dance his way beyond the defender? He looks like he can. That looks like a penalty. The referee is not interested. He was hacked. You can hear the fans really in upheaval here, not happy about that. Nicholas, from where we're standing, that looked like Muba had gone beyond the defender. Unfortunately, the referee not interested in what seemingly looked like a penalty. As Yankobo again swarming the Gabonese on the far side, brought down, and this time the referee says there'll be a free kick.
Yeah, definitely looked like a penalty, but obviously the referee, from where we're standing from, the referee has a better view, and he felt it wasn't, and there was no infringement there, and deserved, they didn't deserve a free kick there. So definitely, this decision has been made, and we can't reverse it. But positive play from Zesco once more. Kelvin Kampamba finding those places where he was brought into this game to first change what Basel really offers. It's a very different complex to what he offers. So positive play from Zesco, and like I said, even the second half still look positive for Zesco, and it's good that Zesco have really turned out and really paid back the faith which the fans have showed up, because really this is a huge number in terms of Zambian football, where we are and how the fans have turned up.
All right, so looking at the team list from the Gabonese side, they have about 7 players absent from this assignment here. Perhaps that explains the reason why we are not seeing the coaches or the technical team making any changes or being influenced to make any changes, looking at how the team has been performing this far.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe you see the agents from the goalkeeper. Maybe they are holding on. They feel like there's still time and there's still opportunity for them to really get something out of this game, because remember also Go Aggregate plays a critical role in this CAF Confederations Cup. It's still very much alive, so for them getting a goal would mean positive play, but so far they don't look like they can get that extra goal, that away goal they are looking for.
All right, so there's another free kick on the far side with Asian Kobo. Looks like he's going to swing it in. Is it going to go low or is it going to go high? He goes high, and that was on target as the Gabonese goalkeeper clashes with his own defenders, and they're looking like they are on the 6s and 7s here. Chanda Mukuka finds Muba. Spectacular play from Zesco United as the international shoots, but creating no problems for the Gabonese goalkeeper. 105 Canon surviving that onslaught from Zesco United. Something for the fans to cheer about, as that definitely will be a free kick for Zesco United, as Adama didn't go in well, and there was an awkward landing for Solomon Sakala.
Yeah, positive play there from Zesco once more to obviously excite the fans.
Move
And just that's how Kemuka and Chandamkuka, the young Chandamkuka, combined there to just create that opportunity. Shoot, and the goalkeeper was definitely alert, and he just kept that and collected with cool, almost creating a similar moment where Kemuka scored, if you remember very well, against Comoros here for this, on international duty after just losing his mother. Similar position where he scored, almost getting that similar same situation go with playing 1-2 with Chandamkuka.
So we're witnessing Canon 105, runner-up in the Gabonese League, which has actually 14 teams. They came second behind AS Manga Sports. I don't know if you have heard of AS Manga Sports. One of the teams actually which has actually been around for some time. They have been actually making a little bit of noise on the continental. Zesco attacking here. No problems this time as Mulumbu will head out for another throw-in for Zesco United. So, like I was saying, Nicholas, they only have 5 players on the substitutions bench. They are missing about 7 players who are absent from this trip to Zambia. Whatever happened there, we'll get to that thought as Zesco have got themselves a throw. Quickly taken. There is Siankobo turning. He brings in a cross on the right side. The goalkeeper will have no problems picking that one as Chandamkuka tries to impede. He has to be careful there, otherwise he might end up getting cautioned, a needless caution which can come and affect you as the tournament progresses going forward. Zesco United taking it all the way back. Yesterday, the coach was talking about winning Zambia's 4 slots back. If Zesco United does progress and gets to the continental group stages and Power Dynamos does the needful, then definitely, depending on how or which positions they'll finish in or what stage they will come out, if they do come out, then definitely Zambia will have scored some points en route to reclaiming those 4 slots which the country lost owing to the poor performance of Zambian teams in continental games. Any positive sides you have picking out so far from what we've seen from the Zambians this afternoon?
Yeah, I think one thing we've picked out is them taking the chances in this game.
As Hiva turns, cuts inside the box, hacked, and the referee says it's a penalty. Penalty for Zesco United. Scintillating play from Amin. Going past a cluster of 3 defenders. And that move sending the fans into delirium here at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. You should be seeing how the Vice President Keith Mwemba and this team Tuareg are celebrating or applauding this positive play from Zesco United. I can also see Mufula Wanderers officials are here. They are loving what they're seeing here. Zesco United win themselves a penalty. Perhaps they'll feel that is perhaps some reprieve from the first one. The referee didn't accord. Whoever's going to take this one, most likely it could be Mubanga Kampamba. But penalty for Zesco right on the 62nd minute, 62nd minute of this second leg of the comfort game at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium.
I mentioned it, like if you remember, it was a matter of time, and it keeps on happening, especially in terms of breakdown those. And Zesco, that's where they are hitting this Canon 105 football club. When you look at how they have been taken on, I mean, they are just showing his strength and power, bulldozing the defense, cutting inside, and one rushing defender just brought him down despite having a share of the ball. But it was definitely a clear goal scoring opportunity for Amin Hive there. Maybe he could have buried that one and maybe gotten on the score sheet himself. But he has been given a second chance, and it's a penalty for Zesco United. And definitely, I feel he will be able maybe to take that one as he collects the ball from Chandamkuka. But
yeah, looks like it will be Kelvin Mwanga as expected. If you're looking at experience and perhaps being a specialist when it comes to set pieces, that is the right man for the job. Can he find Zesco's 4th goal and perhaps knock the wind out of the Gabonese side, who actually have been having no response to Zesco United? A lot of fans that are watching this game live on the Zesco United Facebook page will be actually finding it hard to believe that this team actually did beat Zambia's Zesco United 2-0 just a week ago. But this afternoon they're being torn apart as Kelvin Mwanga denied a penalty of his own a couple of minutes back, has been accorded one, won by Amin. What some great play from him, ripping apart or going past, zooming past 2-3 defenders, and ended up being hacked inside a penalty box. And now Zesco United have an opportunity to crown it all with the 4th goal. Can Muba score? It's Muba versus Nkufu in that Gabonese Canon 105 goal. It's Mubanga versus Nkufu. Mubanga prevails! 4-0! Zesco United flying high! Definitely lights back out! Calvin Mubanga crowds it off for Zesco United, and the fans are loving it! 4 goals to 0. 4 goals to 2 on aggregate. Lights out. Or do you feel there's still some life left in the legs of the Canon 105 from Gabon?
Yeah, definitely. This is a punch, a blow punch for the Gabonese side. Canon 105. I think they have been outsmart. They have been outdone here, and Zesco have turned up. Very, very important goal for Zesco. Kevin Kemuka Kampamba stepping up when it mattered the most, showing experience. Benjamin with no chance, going the wrong side of the of that wonderful kick, and it has given advantage to Zesco. And what a statement this Zesco has made. And for the fans, they have been paid. Thank you for turning up. Definitely, that's what that new scoreline means. Thank you for turning up. And you could see how Kemuka went there to celebrate. That was very pivotal, and it shows to say they definitely value these people who have turned up here to come up here and support Zesco United. So big advantage for them, and big statement from Zesco. Yeah, definitely substitution for Gabonese side. So jersey number 7 has come on, which is Adamao Njoya, just coming in to replace.
Actually, Adamao has just been taken off. Yeah, rather, just coming on. Finally, the coaches have seen enough. After conceding the 4th goal, they have been compelled. We are just talking about the lack of numbers on the subs bench. They only have about 5 players, and they are missing about 7 that have actually not made the trip to Zambia. There could be some internal problems, maybe, or maybe they had some visa glitches, the Gabonese side. Maybe that's why they have come with limited numbers, and that has not worked out for them because they have been limited so far from what we have seen. They don't look like they're going to score, and Zesco now seemingly look like they're going to run riot this afternoon, as we can see that the coaches are going to make another substitution for Zesco and bring on the goal-scoring machine of Freddie Michael Kublan, as well as the international who has just come back from Israel. Surprisingly, that he has ended up at Zesco. Has been actually marvel to watch. Mpande, formerly of Lusaka Atletico.
Yeah, definitely. I think bringing in some quality. It shows how much strength which Zesco has. When you look at the players who are coming off and the players who are coming on, you still wonder to say that's how much strength Zesco is having at the moment. And Gift Mpande, Zambian international, Fred Michael, the Ivorian as well. I think so much experience at this stage, and he's been scoring goals for them. I think it's been very much helpful. So it is very much important. You mentioned about Gift Mpande coming all the way, obviously trying to regain some game time. He's so much potential, still very young. I think he should be 21 or 22, and he's still got so much potential to maybe ply back his trade. And it's good that he's come back home, regroup himself, and obviously get some game time as he tried to maybe further his career. But coming for Zesco, a team which is playing in the CAF Confederations, helping them out maybe to progress. The further they progress, maybe the more the value they get. So very important for them.
Important for them, definitely. For a team that has actually at one point reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League, Canon 105 do not look the part right now. They're being torn to shreds here as they venture forward. I think it's been a while since we have seen them venture forward into that Zesco half. The ball has literally been camped in their own half here as Chandam Kuka unfortunately turns over possession. Not something that the fans are going to love. He hasn't really stamped his authority ever since he came on. As the Gabonese are breaking through here. They can score here. Can they score? Good defensive cover from the captain, Lindom Konta, was just thrown in a very influential, a very critical tackle at the right moment. Otherwise, the Gabonese would have scored as Kelvin Mubanga is hacked. That could be a caution, but the referee feels no need as Mubanga is hacked here, and Zesco now can make another double substitution.
So substitution for Zesco United. So Solomon Sakala has been substituted and replaced by Gift Mpande at the centre back, and jersey number 9, the jersey number 9 to be replaced by Fred Michael there, the Ivorian. So that's confirmed the substitution which have been made for Zesco United. This is actually the first tactical substitution Zesco have made, because all the substitutions they've made have been due to injury.
It looks like Zesco have run out of substitutions here. The fourth official has taken note. Zesco, unfortunately, did not really count. Looks like they have been told that they have run out of substitutions. Can you imagine if they did actually manage to bring on Freddie Michael, what that repercussion would have been for Zesco? Because Freddie Michael has just been told to go and sit here.
Yeah, definitely it would have caused problem if you count. I think still counting Ginter. Also, Gifting Pande has been brought on.
Or it appears like there could be some there could have been some technical issues down there, because we are now just seeing Pascal Piri actually also warming up. Looks like Freddie Michael will not be coming on. Whatever commotion was happening here, it looks like they'll be taking out Freddie. They'll be taking Siankobo out. Seemingly has asked to be substituted. Seemingly maybe could be in a spot of bother right now. That's why we're seeing Pascal Piri. It would be a like for like, seeing the youngster coming through from the young Zesco setup. Interesting to also note, Nicholas, I don't know if you remember the days of HK Rovers from Lubuto Township here in Ndola. This youngster came from Tendere in Lusaka, joined HK Rovers, and today is playing in the Continental Games. Talk about dreams coming true for a youngster coming out of a township like that.
Well, very, very important. I think you look at that project, definitely, I think it paid off. You look at his making his trade today, and I think all the headlines he's been making, remember how much he was pivotal to them, winning the APSA Cup and also winning the Charity Shield, playing that pivotal role, and even just their run to them making it to second, finishing second position last season. He helped in terms of getting those scores alongside Fred Michael. So good for them and good for the young boy. Also for the Ndola Youth League, I think it's been very progression which hasn't been really noticed. I think in terms of how players who have played their trade, David Simkonda is also a product of that Ndola Youth League. Is also Pasco is also among them. So it's good. Also we've seen other players playing in their respective teams. So it's very important that these development leagues are able to produce players. And boy oh boy, obviously the people have been helping this boy to come up, and for him to make his such an international appearance, it is good for him.
He should have just mentioned the names that have played the part. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. As Amin Hiva there is just actually a lost possession. Seemingly not having a cool head over his shoulders. That's something the referee will not really entertain. As you can see, he's being chastised. As Siankobo clearly is in a spot of bother. Young Pascal Piri is going to make a debut here at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. He's going to be thrown into the deep end playing continental football. Also remember that just last season, he was also part of the Zambia Under-20 squad that went to the COSAFA. So you can see that trajectory-wise, the youngster seems to be on the right course of, I think, in his career. That's something his proud mom will be most likely be very proud, seeing that this youngster is actually reaching these levels in his career.
Definitely, like we mentioned, I think a lot of people are proud to have contributed to his growth. And he also was part and parcel of the Africa Cup of Nations, which Zambia, despite them not doing well at the under-20 level, but I think he was part and parcel alongside David Simkonda. So it's key and good for his progression. And he is coming on to replace Abraham Siankombo today in the match day 2 on the return leg of the CAF Confederations Cup against 105 Canon Football.
If he scores here, what a story that would be for the youngster Pascal Piri. A lot of belief coming through from those junior setups, and now he's dancing with the big boys at the biggest level in continental football in Africa. Let's get to see Canon Delibreview on the ball on the far side, trying to conjure up an attack here. Unfortunately, they run out of pitch as they win themselves a corner. Looks like it should be Esono taking this one from the far side. Yes, Esono, 21, goes to take the corner. Can they master something out of this? If they do manage to get one or put one back, definitely they will have a little bit of some wind in them. We have already seen, at least, I think from the 74 minutes of this game we've been watching so far, they have managed actually to just master one very critical attack as they swing it in. Sakauta comes out and misses completely. That was dangerously, as the Gabonese didn't manage to connect. The goalkeeper swimming caught out there in the 6s and 7s, but lucky enough, he has to be counting his lucky stars because that was almost heading in.
Definitely, that was heading in. Poor goalkeeping there from Philip Sakauta, but it's good that his luck was inside, and that's just shows to say at some point you need that, and that's how it worked out, because that was definitely going in. He came out for the ball and missed it completely in no man's land.
Caught out in no man's land. So was Philip Sakauta. Mulumbu plays it into the middle. That high press from Zesco has been working out all afternoon as Mukonta gets into the thick of action. Pasco Piri with his first touch now. He's got the pace and skill set. Can he go beyond and pretty much put in a decent cross? Unfortunately, Hiva was all caught out in the wrong position there, but good pace and skill shown from the youngster.
It's shown in some positive runs coming on as a second half substitute. We show he's shown us a glimpse of what he can offer in terms of speed. Still has some energy, and with his that dangerous left foot he has, he can swing in from the left wing, and he also come in from the right wing, cut inside. That's what he's been brought on to do.
That is Ganta finds Mubanga. Unfortunately, couldn't pick out the right pass there as Zesco tried to win possession back. Esono. Obame. Esono once again. Picks out in Zamba. Kept in check, or rather illegally, by Gifton Pandey. The new entrant who has actually also replaced Solomon Sakala, who has actually succumbed to injury. Could it be that this game has been so physical because we have lost, Zesco have lost 3 players to injury this afternoon?
Well, if you ask me, definitely it's been physical. When you look at how much energy Zesco have put in, I think in terms of the high pressing game, it's not the easiest game to play, even just for 15 minutes. But from Zesco, from the first whistle, they've been pressing and making sure that this Gabonese side 105 cannot make mistakes. And that's what's been their strength so far, and capitalizing on those mistakes.
Right on the money, Nick, as the Chandamkau headed out. Can Zesco clear the lines here? Chanda once again gets into doing some very good defensive cover. That is something coaches love to see from their players here, as Chilongoshi tries to provide cover on the near side. A cross blocked, and that will be a throw for the Gabonese as they are pushing the issue. Do they have a little bit of sting left in them? One goal can change a lot of things here, but so far Zesco in the ascendancy as Mubanga pumps forward, looking for Hiva here. Can he win possession? Unfortunately, he comes out second best, as he has been kept in check here this time around by Jonathan Ekwa.
So throw in for Zesco United. Those long throws from Kelvin Bangakampamba expected to throw in and putting it inside, but he takes a short throw.
Finds Ganta in that midfield. Taking all the way back to Philip Sakauta. Talk about Philip Sakauta. All the way from Northwestern Province. Today he's playing continental football. Another fairy tale story, you would say, about having belief and working hard. He has now found himself to be the number one shortstopper for Zesco United. He's playing against some of the best teams on the continent as Zachariah Chilongosh has ventured forward. Kelvin Mubanga giving instructions as where he wants the Chanda to be. Chanda Mkuka. Back to Muba. Muba dances around, goes past one. Brought down. The referee says advantage. Chanda Mkuka forced to look for options in Zachariah Chilongoshi. Muba once again. Look at the skill from Muba. Once again showing a lot of strength, Muba, as Zesco United win themselves a free kick. And definitely that's a Muba territory. The Gabonese have got no idea the downfall or the Waterloo that can come their way, conceding a set piece in those areas when you are facing Kelvin Mwanga. We know he's lethal, he's ruthless when it comes to set pieces from positions like that.
Yeah, definitely Kemka will be fancying his chances there, despite they are coming in still angry for a goal today, but Kemka will be fancying himself on a higher advantage there, because we know he can hit from those, and he's done it before on many occasions, so he'll definitely be fancying himself, but he's left it for team play there, the coach there coming in to communicate, but there just showing hunger for a striker. Definitely positive.
Yeah, Nicholas, something interesting is happening. Have you seen the skipper Lindom Conte's not happy that Hiva has decided to take this set piece? They all know that Muba is lethal when it comes to set pieces like this. And definitely you can see even the fans are not agreeing with the decision by Amin Hiva to take that free kick. It speaks a lot about knowing who your weapons are in the team here. If you can see the captain actually making sure that Muba knows that the captain is not happy. They want Muba to take that set piece.
Yeah, good leadership there from Lindom Konta. But I think Kem Kalia just showed maturity and allowed Eva to obviously take. But in these games, you don't take chances.
If he scores, then definitely it's going to make a statement.
Definitely.
Even for the non-believers here,
Exactly.
they'll be what, won over or baptized. Is the word. That's the word.
It will be good for his
belief will
confidence if you ask me. I think he hasn't had a good game if you ask me.
In front of God, definitely has not really had a very good game. Let's see if he can master. It
Wow.
crosses, it grazes the crossbar. Perhaps more the reason why he was insistent on taking that set piece. He has definitely proved this case or for this case, and now they know that when you have set pieces in those areas, if Muba's not around, then Hiva is your go-to man.
Definitely, I think it was a good free kick. Just a little bit down, we could have been talking about a different scoreline there. Very, very well taken free kick. But unfortunately, it just went over and hit the upright there. Good game. Making a statement.
Grazing the crossbar, definitely something of a statement from Amin Hiva as Muba who takes it all the far side to the captain. Konta with a very, very good pass here, looking for Chandamka on the run. Unfortunately, the young man couldn't conjure up a very good pass, but he does manage to win possession for Zesco. Impeded. The referee not interested. 105 going forward. Zamba looking for options. Perhaps he couldn't just go beyond the reach of the international. Kawasa Chongo on the near side. Well defended by Zakaria Chilongoshi.
Zakaria Chilongoshi there, I think he's just put in very good shift here. I think he's been covering all over the pitch. I think he's been one of the top players. 80 plus performance today, Zakaria Chilongoshi. It's good to see him back in form. You saw how he was a very good young prospect. I think he's been moving in up and down, but I think he's found home at Zesco, and I think his performance so far in the Zesco jersey has been top notch, if you ask me. And today he's shown a good performance from him. I think he's been moving. He's been effective at every side of the pitch today. Whether he's gone to attack, he's putting those good crosses inside the box, and also when it comes to defend, I think it's been top notch. Good performance from him.
As things stand with but just about 8 minutes on the clock, looks like the Gabonese will not be aggressing the quarterfinals this time around. Looks like they're on the way out of the continental games, unless a miracle happens this afternoon. Looks like Zesco are cruising to the second round of this CAF competition. Remember, we didn't mention earlier on that this team has managed to reach the quarterfinals, but it looks like this afternoon they are punching way above their weight as Hiva, perhaps a little bit too slow. Could have put in a cross earlier on, perhaps, and you can see now Muba is actually chastising also Chilongoshi there to perhaps just be a little bit patient, because there was only Pasco Piri inside the 18-yard and he overcooked that cross, and it has just ended up being a throw for the visiting side.
Yeah, Chilongoshi, they are showing too much energy there, a little bit too much power for Pasco to head that home, but something which Zesco have been lethal on, especially in the wing play today.
Definitely looks like the journey for Zesco United in the Continental Games will continue this afternoon. 4 goals to the good. Can they find the 5th? Another one just for the fans, just to make sure that the fans have got a story to tell when they go home. But it's the Gabonese 105 on the ball this time around with Obame. Couldn't find the right pass as Zesco will now win possession and counter. Pasco Piri, he has got the pace and skill. Look at Pasco going. Can he go all the way? Brought down. The referee feels there was no infringement. And the fans do not applaud that. Nicholas, there seemingly was contact from the youngster there, who was dancing his way through that cluster of defenders there.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like there was contact there, but the referee was not having any of that. And it just shows to see, maybe he didn't just see the contact, maybe felt the Pasco there deceived him. But he's much closer than we are where we are. Maybe there was a bit, players sometimes, but it looked like there was a bit of contact from where we're standing from. But good run from Pasco Piri, showing positive runs there.
Definitely, if your confidence cannot go up with that kind of messy run from the youngster, then definitely we don't know what can make your confidence go up. As Zesco Sakauta decides to go long, looking for Muba on the near side here. There's a toss there from Hiva, who finds Muba. Muba, can he venture inside the 18? Looking for Pascal Piri. Piri! A devilishly looking ball. Unfortunately, Pascal connecting, but just skewing up that shot. That would have been an icing on the cherry for the youngster. He could have been enshrining his name amongst the great ones that have graced Zesco United over the years, Nicholas. He just couldn't find the target.
Yeah, definitely a homegrown player scoring on your first home game international at the international level. What a dream it would have been for the young boy. But definitely experience there showed, and he could have kept a little bit of composure. Maybe a touch or two would have allowed him.
More problems for 105 as Muba is dancing his way. He's hacked. Penalty! Muba Dino dancing his way past Mulumbu. Showed him a dummy, brought him down. And there's another penalty for Zesco. And if you can see the fans are losing their minds here. Could this be goal number 5? Nicholas, what are we witnessing here?
Yeah, definitely. I think this one, it did it for Amin. I think there's been a good relationship in terms of how they are communicating. And you saw even how he celebrated. And he hasn't even attempted to go and take that penalty. And Amin just deserves one at the end of the day to boost his confidence. I think in terms of hard work, he's put in a good shift. But just the lack in terms of him scoring hasn't been on his side. And definitely, that's a big opportunity. And the fans are excited to extend the lead to 5-0. This was the dream scoreline for every Zesco fan, wherever they were, when they were walking off from the pitch. Can we make that scoreline? I know some of the fans who were talking about getting this scoreline, but if it was to go 5-0, then definitely it will be a dream scoreline for them. And what a statement it will be once again.
I mean, Hiva won Zesco United's first penalty. Muba took it, scored. Muba wins Zesco United's second penalty. Hiva will take it. Can he replicate what Muba did? Can he also get his name on the score sheets this afternoon? It's Hiva versus Nkufu. Can this be 5 goals to the good? Or there'll be a miracle from the Gabonese? As now we're heading into injury time. The fans are anticipating a 5th goal here. Wherever you're watching this, it's Hiva versus Nkufu. And he scores! I mean, Hiva! Zesco United 5. Canon Deliberate View 105 nil on aggregate. 5-2. If at all you believed in miracles before this game started, did you believe the miracle would be this significant from the Zambian champions and from the runners-up from last season? Nicholas,
definitely, this is a dream scoreline. Like I mentioned, some of the fans were dreaming of us getting a 5-goal victory, but it looked impossible. But when you look at so much talk which was talked about, I think everyone ruled Zesco out in terms of them scoring, but for them to score 5 goals, and when you look at even just the Zambian league itself, we haven't seen a scoreline more than 3-0 or 3 goals in a game, especially this season. But for them to come and score 3 goals, 5 goals at home in a CAF Confederations game, this is a big statement. And if you believe in miracle, and if you're at home seated there watching on this platform, definitely it is happening here at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. It's Zesco 5 and Canon 105 nil.
Zesco United started with 11 players. Out of those 11 players, five of those players have been on the score sheet this afternoon. Talk about a comprehensive performance from a team that was chasing what was fighting against what looked to be insurmountable. But boy, have they turned the tables on 105 this afternoon.
Definitely they have turned the tables around, and I think I would love to I love the spirit which Kemuka has brought into this team. I think it's definitely, I said, they are bringing something different to what Bazo was offering. I think he's boosted the players, telling them to keep calm. He showed composure to create that penalty, also getting that penalty, and also giving just boost of a striker. You definitely need him to be on the score sheet. You know to say he hasn't had his luck in terms of scoring, and just when an opportunity comes, you boost him. And even the captain went there to obviously have a word with him before he just takes that penalty. And when he scored, Kemuka was the first one to celebrate with him, and he's excited. definitely that's teamwork, and it shows maturity from Kemuka, and overall the Zesco team, it shows to say they are a team, and definitely whatever is happening outside and whatever everyone is talking about is definitely not affecting them. Good show up for them.
On aggregate, Nicholas, how many goals does 105 have to score? Looking at the amount of time remaining as Hiva wins possession for Zesco. He has options with Pasco on the right side. Can the youngster score? He turns, beats one marker, finds Muba. Muba cuts inside. Who kills it in? It just goes over the bar. Muba could have been on the brace right there. But scintillating play from Zesco United.
Yeah, scintillating play, just confirmation, 2 minutes of addition time. Here we have done 90 minutes. So good opportunity there for Kemuka. Good play, interchange. I mean, they are not selfish. Teeing up Pasco. Pasco also squaring it for Kemuka, and Kemuka just cutting inside from the left wing with the right short foot. But unfortunately, it went on the far post and it didn't beat the goalkeeper there. But Zesco have been the best team so far in this game.
If you can afford to keep Freddie Mike on the bench and still put in a shift like this, then definitely any team on the local front should take note of Zesco United. They have been comprehensively good this afternoon, as the referee gives awards a free kick for 105 just midway into the Zesco half here. Let's see if these guys can conjure up something here as Chandamukuka tries to slow things down here. 105 cutting inside. Unfortunately, they have been struggling all afternoon with that high pressing game from Zesco United, which they have deployed also this far, as Mkonta will try to prevent Zam from bringing a cross, but unfortunately couldn't do so. And unfortunately for 105, there was nobody actually to connect with that very, very good looking cross from Zamba on the other side, who actually managed to fend off the challenge that was mounted by the Zesco skipper Lindo Konta. With time seemingly not on the Gabonese side. They are wondering exactly what hit them hard, Nicholas. They are wondering what hit them hard this afternoon.
I think their experience for their first visit to Zambia hasn't been the one to tell, obviously, their children back at home. It hasn't been a good one at the end of the day.
And the referee blows for the end of this second leg, first round Confederations of African Football Cup involving Zesco United, the runner-up from last season in the Super League, and Canon Deliberate 105. Full-time scores on the day: Zesco United 5, Canon 105 nil. On aggregate, Zesco United 5, Canon Deliberate 2. What an afternoon of football this has been. If you believe in miracles, then definitely you would say there was a miracle here. Good performance from Zesco United. The naysayers here, they have been turned into believers. Your summation of the performance from Zesco United this afternoon.
Well, 5-star performance if you ask me. 5 goals to nil. 5-2 goal aggregate. I think it is definitely a perfect response from a Zesco's caliber. I think when they were drawn against this Gabonese side, they were favourite. But after the first leg, the result shocked everyone. And most of the people wonder to say, whatever is happening, is it really affecting these players? But today they came back home, made the game free, and the fans stand up. They cheered from the first whistle. So did Zesco play. High pressing from the first whistle. You could see that they forced Gabonese side to make mistakes, and that's why they were capitalizing on. You saw how the first goal was scored. David Simkonda dispossessing the defender, shooting up, taking off, shutting off the challenge, putting in the goal. Kela, first goal inside. Kabaso Chongo taking in from the center circle, unleashing a thunderbolt from outside the box. The goalkeeper had no chance, couldn't turn up. Bazo Ngonga, that third goal was a mistake from the midfield. From long range, he hit it and the goalkeeper just had no chance. Second half started on. 2 penalties created the first one. Kemuka took it. The second one, Kemuka created it, and Amin took it, and all stepped up with so much confidence. And that just sums up the performance Zesco had today. Big performance from them. And I'm sure going forward, if they can turn up like this, definitely. And for the fans who came here, I'm sure they'll be thanking them because they played a pivotal role. So for those please make sure that we support this turn-up. You know how much numbers can boost a team. So it's very important and a very important aspect. But what a performance. And it's good that when fans turn up and a team like Zesco perform, I'm sure fans are excited. If you're coming for the first time to the stadium, you see such a performance, you'll be looking forward to come to the stadium.
Definitely couldn't have put it better there, as Nicholas was just giving us a summation of the overall performance from Zesco United this afternoon from the Levy Mwanawasa Stadium. There's been an exciting afternoon of football right here, brought to you live on the Zesco United Facebook page. As Zesco United marches on to the next round of matches, they'll be played in the second week of October. You just wait to see the team that Zesco United will be getting to play, depending on the conclusion of results on the other side of second leg games that have taken place. But all in all, it's been a wonderful day for Zesco. Power Dynamos now, over to you, as Zesco United have done the job. Zambia's anticipating Power Dynamos to equally do the same, but they've got pretty much a tough assignment in Ivory Coast against ASEC Mimosas. But this could be something that Power Dynamos can draw confidence from and inspiration from Zesco United.
Yeah, definitely they could boost up their confidence after Zesco's performance today. And obviously away from home, all they need for Power Dynamos is not to concede like the Gabonese side have conceded here. And you know, ASEC Mimosa is not a pushover like this Gabonese side, so definitely for them it's a huge task. And ASEC Mimosa are former champions in the Champions League. They have a higher pedigree, but they have played. Zesco has gone there and beaten ASEC Mimosa before, so it is possible also for Power Dynamos to actually get an important result. But don't just concede when you go there, or concede aimlessly, and make sure you turn up and good up performance. Definitely, we can only wish for all the best for Power Dynamos, and congratulations to Zesco for putting such a 5-star performance here, and for the fans for turning up. Thank you very much.
5-star is the word. 5-star is the word from Levy Mwanawasa Stadium. 5-star is the word in capital letters. They have scored 5 goals. Zesco United, Timia Zico, Zegamambo from Levy Mwanawasa Stadium. My name is Lucky Sinkala alongside Nicholas Shingwen commentary. We're saying goodbye, and we're definitely sure that you have enjoyed whatever you have witnessed here this afternoon. Congratulations are in order for Zesco United once again. Until the next time, goodbye.